connection's bad. If they don't turn on VPN, then it won't work. Well, VPN is on. Let me know. Can you see us now or not? How is the connection? Hope it works the third time. Attempt number 3.
Alright, here we go.
Drum roll, please.
There we go.
Maybe the VPN server is busy.
Maybe.
Is it working? Can you guys see us? Can you hear us? Is everything better? Hi, Kyle. How are you? Yes, water. Yes, it's bad, or yes, it's good, or yes, we need a VPN, or what's going on? It's better. Yay!
Hello.
Maybe only for a while.
Yeah, that's what it did last time.
Well, the audio is much better. That's good. Works just fine. Hi, dear. Patty, better. Sound is good. Decided to come back, and it's better. Privyet. Okay, hopefully it's better now. Much better. See you, hear you. Very good. Boom, 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 boom. Still pixels, but sound is good. Sound is good. Hi, Fiendstras. Started out good, but still buffering.
That's so sad.
I think it's just bad internet tonight.
Yeah, I think so.
Yay, better. Keep our fingers crossed. Portland, Oregon. Sound is all we need. You need a VPN for sure. Picture is pixelated. Well, I was running on a VPN on my phone, and it didn't seem to help, and now we're on Anneesa's phone. Do you have your VPN on? No?
I don't think so, but...
I even checked my connection, not from this end. Sound is good now.
Okay, so they can hear us at least.
Minecraft again. Sorry.
So you just can't see.
We're not that pretty anyway. You don't really want to stare at us too long. Greetings from Siberia. The comments working here?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. Hello, Anneesa and Arend. Good fella. Keep your fingers crossed. How come this isn't moving?
I don't know. I clicked on something. There we go.
Yeah, that's not right. Aha! Хорошо. Started out good, still buffering. Hello, Portland. Much better. I even checked my connection. Minecraft again. Greetings from Siberia.
Mm-hmm.
Ian, sound is priority over picture. Adolf is all better video and audio. So, Cal, did you figure out why the gap is so big around the windows of your house? No, I didn't. Because they said that's what's necessary, and I don't understand that. Because now I'm looking at it, and there's not very much insulation in there. Right? So, in my opinion, you're best off still always with the smallest gap possible. And if you're doing, which I always do, I do my own framing, and I install my own windows, so I know it's straight. And I understand if you're coming into a custom or into a house that somebody else has built and they don't have the window openings, the rough openings straight, then you could run into problems when you want to put your window in. But if you're doing it yourself and you make sure that everything's straight, everything's square, everything's level, then you do not need such a big gap. Because now I have this massive gap and they sprayed some foam in there, but my wall is more insulated than that foam.
Somebody suggested this for the log homes. So when they settle.
No, I don't know.
I was like,
I'm
I
not
hope
sure.
the house isn't settling that much.
There is a difference of doing things here versus doing things where we're from, and anyway, it is what it is. I try not to get too worked up about it. Everything is fixable. Everything's workable. I will add more insulation if necessary. I will trim it differently. I'll fix it somehow. Picture is not so good. Yeah, we're having troubles for some reason. Hey guys, question about windows. Why they open inside Russia? We always put mosquito net from the outside of the windows. Can't live without nets. Yeah, the rest of the world has nets on the windows as well. Canadians do as well. The net is on the inside. No, it's not. It's still on the outside.
Well,
depending on the window.
window.
So people don't understand, and I think
We
it's
have a
funny
bunch
when...
of different styles of windows.
Yeah, some of the comments I read about Canadians don't, anyway. Obviously our windows can open, and obviously they've thought of that. So we have cranks, or they have. There's cranks in the bottom of the window that'll open up your window. There's a little gear drive. When you crank it, the window just opens up. The nice thing about an out-facing window, it catches the breeze and brings it back in. Now, those can be harder to clean. I'll give you that. But a slider window, when it slides sideways or slides up and down, they can also pop down so you can wash the outside. There's no need to go outside of your house to clean. And mosquito nets, we all have them. part I don't like about the mosquito nets here is that they're just screwed to the outside of, we call them fly screens, but they're just screwed to the outside of the window. It seems kind of unprofessional. The ones we're used to actually have a channel built into the window, into the plastic portion of the window where the nets fit into and can be removed from. Lossinger, I gave the wrong measurements. 500 foot by 1,000 foot, 30 feet deep, minus the rocks, was around 25 feet. Rainbow trout flourished. I wouldn't mind building that. I grew up around water all my life. My wife tends to be a little bit more scared of water. She's worried about somebody drowning. So I don't imagine I'm going to get to build a pond. Anton, what is difficult for me to learn? I don't know. I don't know what is difficult for you to learn. Place, it's time to move to other platforms. We are working on that. As I mentioned before we quit on the other one, we are uploading videos to YouTube now. I do not yet know if it's working. I literally just started tonight. It is transferring videos from YouTube to YouTube, so they should be available. Now that's just for our Russian audience. If you're in the West and your YouTube is working, we would very much prefer you stay on YouTube because it's obviously more beneficial for us. YouTube doesn't pay, well, not very much, and YouTube does a little bit. Although we don't get paid for Russian audience. They have demonetized all Russians because of the big bad Russia thing, and somehow they figure that's going to stop war, I guess. I don't know. Got nothing to do with it. But so if you're in the West and YouTube's working, please just carry on with YouTube. But if YouTube's not working for you, you can find us on RooTube soon. Sound is good. Video, not so much, but that's all good. Sound is most important. Hello, Family Arena. Oleg, hello from Vnukovo Airport. Ancient friend, the picture gets better than worse, but the sound is great. Olga, hello from Belarus. Anton, is it difficult to learn Russian? Yes. It's difficult to learn any language, though. There's overlap here. There's French words in the Russian language. There's Dutch words in the Russian language. There's English in there. There's German in there. And so having a basic knowledge of a bunch of those languages does help. I had a really hard time, like, even just reading, keeping up. I can read slowly and, like, you know, like a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old reads. But keeping up, especially if you're reading a screen and it's changing, and I couldn't keep up. Now I'm having a better time.
Yeah.
You know, singing along or something to music that's on a screen. But it just comes with time. The first 3 months we were here was a lot going on. It's just stressful things going on. And it's hard to learn language. The pressure is on. And now the pressure is off and we're more relaxed. And I think it's going faster. I think we're learning more. Whoops. I like the way your children sing. Greetings from Pavlovo, Nizhny Novgorod. Thank you very much. This will change under Trump, I hope. I don't know what we're talking about, but something might change, yes. Exactly. YouTube is better. Drowning isn't an issue if you're good with water safety. Exactly. And I think you need to, it's like all the comments I read about children being on the roof. My children grew up on the roof and have just done construction all their life. And so they are well aware of the dangers and how to be precautious. If you don't grow up around water, then you might not be safe around water.
So there's so many of them, and only 2 of us.
Yeah, and I grew up around water. We have always had water. In the Netherlands, we had water around us, and my older brothers and sisters always, you know, played in the creek by the house, the canal. And when we moved to Canada, our home had a swimming pool. So I grew up, you know, at 4 years old, moved to Canada, and we always had a pool. So I've never not had water, I guess, around. Where you had a drowning almost incident when you were younger, and it's kind of scared you about water. But yeah, children, if you get educated, we are planning on getting swimming lessons for the children. Well, you were hoping to do it this summer, but it didn't work out yet.
Mm-hmm.
In Canada, they just started to make windows like the ones you got, and they're charging more for that option.
Well, here it's the opposite.
Yeah, interesting.
For the other.
I prefer the windows that we had, quite honestly.
I like the thickness and the sturdiness of these windows.
They're very good quality, very thick and sturdy. I just like the way the other ones opened. I prefer
up and down or side to side.
Yes. I didn't like, in Western Canada, we had those windows that went out with the crank, and it's really windy in Western Canada. And so sometimes the wind would grab a hold of one of those windows and take it off. And so, yeah, we just like up and down. They work good. But they cost way more money here, apparently. Greetings from Novosibirsk, so-called good fellows, less Amstel from what I've read. Oh, that's just somebody else. Hello, my dear friends from the UK. Nice to see you. I just wish God's blessing. I struggle clearing my windows here in the UK. Hey, we got a Helena. We've got a $10 super chat from Helena. Hey guys, are any of your older children planning to go study to be a veterinarian? That is interesting. Cora was taking a online course here at home. That is the oldest daughter here on veterinarian. We don't believe, well, obviously if they want to be a licensed vet, they need to be, but we don't believe children necessarily have to go to college. Everything that you can learn is available online or at home, because all you're doing when you go to school is learning from a textbook or from someone who knows more about it than you do, and that is available at home as well. But I don't know. I can't say at this point.
I think she's since lost interest in that.
Maybe.
She told me she didn't really care for the course.
Right.
So that was the bonus of not having to send her to college.
Yeah, she learned that by doing it at home.
Realized
it's interesting. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a veterinarian. I wanted to be a farmer. I wanted to be a carpenter, and I wanted to be a soldier. And those are the 4 jobs that I wanted to do. And so I've never been a soldier, but I have owned gun hunting and owned many hunting rifles in Canada. So that's as close as I got there, I guess, got to shoot stuff. And I've been a carpenter my whole life. I've been a farmer my whole life. And as a farmer, you're also a veterinarian. So I learned lots, especially when I managed the feedlot. We did a lot of veterinarian work. The vets would come in, train us to do it, and we did it ourselves. Anyway, thank you for your super chat. Singing Russian songs helps with the language. I think that is, so they might know 2 other ones maybe.
No,
not too many. Leah Lockie, good afternoon. I was wondering if your new windows have screens to keep the bugs out. They get added afterwards. They get screwed to the outside of the windows. They don't come with them. It seems strange to us too, but they said, oh, you probably don't need them this time of year anymore. You'll get them next year or something.
Yeah, we have nowhere to really store them right now either.
No. Lossinger will also produce a fishing spot. You catch fish. Yes. Lossinger, again, I'm blessed to be adopted Dutch. Sukal, fish. Oops, lost that. Good fella. YouTube would fit perfectly in North Korea. I'm not sure about that one. Hello from New Brunswick, Canada. The children sang wonderfully in Russian. Random Pro, keep up the good work. God's work. Thank you. Super Trio Kit. I don't watch the streams because unfortunately there's no translations. I'm waiting for the next video. Dimitri, time to start using Goodbye DPI, free software for better YouTube working. Andrew Smith, kids can learn everything at home, but to work as a certified specialist, they will need a diploma. Engineers still look at it. Yes, absolutely. Now, there are more and more employers you can find online, that big companies, that no longer care if you have a degree. Because a degree doesn't show that you actually have any work ethic or any skills. It just means that you're good at studying. Anybody can get a degree. And myself as well, I don't care how many degrees you come to my farm with and show me. And I want to see how you work. I want to see that you can actually interact with other human beings, that you are physically capable of doing the work, that you're mentally fit and competent to do the work. And I would never ask somebody for a degree or how long you went to school for, because I really don't care how long you went to school for. Now, that depends on the job, of course, but I've heard
a little rundown of what you've actually experienced in life.
I've actually seen some intelligent guys like Elon Musk saying very similar things, that they're no longer interested in degrees because, I mean, you got a degree from some university, great, but that doesn't actually show that you have the work ethic or are able to actually do the job. I don't know if I'm making myself clear. Education is becoming less important, I guess, because it's available anywhere.
Yeah, someone says that they have never had an employer that actually asked for the diploma. That's true.
Yeah. Aaron, up and down windows do exist in Russia too, but they are much more expensive. That's what I found out. They told us they were $500 per window more. And I was like, what? I didn't want to spend that kind of money. Seemed like a lot. How do I do a super chat? Honestly, I don't know. I've never done one. I haven't got a clue. We wouldn't be able to see that on our screen.
No. Somebody else would have to tell.
Ada Wolf, yes, learn all the old songs you can. Katusha, we need only one victory. Hello from Oklahoma, MT Homestead. Thank you. Nikai, RootTube forever. Yeah, we're gonna try it. We'll see how it goes. Is there English on RootTube at all? Like,
I can translate to you.
okay, so you can actually operate it a little bit.
Yeah, it translates.
Are you guys getting financial support from YouTube over there in Russia? Not from Russian audience.
Mm-mm.
Russian
If
viewers.
they have their VPN on.
There's no. I think there's no commercials in Russia, right?
Right.
So if you have a VPN on here, then we could, because it will think you're someplace else. But Russian viewers don't. You don't get anything from, and that's why no. Well, that and they're trying to punish Russia by that. It seems silly, but it's just one of those sanctions things, I guess.
We're there.
Oh, we weren't?
Nope.
No, we got screens on. No, it's not on here yet.
No, that's just my computer. It does it every week.
Justin, it's actually 20% in 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I've never had an employer look at my diploma. That's right. Yeah. I can see eyes now. There you go. We're coming out of the snowstorm. Adolf, when did the children sing in Russia? Oh, probably did.
That last video.
Which video? Yeah, the last video. The very end of the last video.
You should have watched it all.
Yeah.
Busted.
Now we know you
Now
didn't
we
watch
know.
the whole video. Quite often when we're driving in the car, we would sing songs, or sometimes around campfire or something. So there we sang a whole bunch of them. How many? There's only 2 on the video.
Well, parts of 2.
Yeah, parts of 2.
The verse of 2.
Justin Kemp, yes. Oops. There goes again. Omid, my surgeon operated on me after watching a YouTube video.
Not exactly.
It's okay. I learned this on YouTube yesterday. Now, that's not what I mean, but think of it this way. If you had a surgeon and you wanted to learn surgery, you follow that surgeon around for a year and go to him with all the surgeries, scrub in, scrub out, and learn all that stuff. By the end of the year, and if you can't perform surgery on your own, I mean, you weren't paying attention. Like, how long?
Where did the original surgeon learn from?
Precisely. We're going to school for a long time now for a bunch of book learning that isn't all necessary. And so depending on the job that you want to do, I know people that do engineering that never went to school for engineering. I mean, they just have a brain that loves engineering, and they just have always wanted to do engineer stuff. It's just how they're made up. That's who they are. Now, unfortunately, that person would still need a ticket in order to work at certain places, which is silly. I also know people who have a grade 7 or grade 8 education that are running multi-million-dollar companies. I can't count them on 2 hands. I know a lot of people that are very, very wealthy, running very profitable businesses. They only went to school for 7 years, and then they said, forget it, and they went to work. So more education does not guarantee success. I know a lot of people who have a college or university degree and don't have a job in that field of study.
Like university, and you're talking, right? Because education is different, right? Like I always think of that Montessori school.
Oh yeah,
right? That's all hands-on education.
But as far as a diploma,
we don't want dumb people. That's
No.
not what we're saying. There is education in everything, and that's one thing we've always said is that every moment's a teachable moment, right? So if you just pay attention, look around, and if you really are interested in something, you focus on that one more than other things. Then you're still educating yourself.
Yes.
Just not going to.
But the point is just that you don't need to go to school in order to do those things. Society has created a system where you need a diploma, and so you are sometimes hindered at getting a job because you don't have the diploma, even though you have all the skill sets, and someone else that does have the diploma doesn't have any of the skill sets.
Yeah.
And so it creates an issue, and more employers are realizing that now. They don't care that you went to school for 10 years anymore. They want to know that you can actually do the job. And that's good. We're turning around here and recognizing that, listen, everybody's going to school now. When I was in school, they told everybody we all needed to go in for computers. And I have quite a few friends that took a computers degree and could not find a job and are now carpenters and welders or mechanics instead. But yes, there are some things that definitely you should go to school for, and I would think brain surgery would be one of them. Hi from Serbia, Little Russia as it's called. Many Canadians are moving here also. Yes, I would put Serbia on one of the lists of good countries. My only concern with Serbia is that it's a lot smaller and probably has a harder time keeping the Western nonsense out, if that makes any sense. But yes, Serbia is on definitely on a good list. IT work is different. Ability is more important. Yeah, some people are just gifted at it. I knew people who they could program stuff, and it's like, where did you learn that? Oh, I just play around on the computer. right? So I mean, they're just naturally gifted in that department. Are you aware you are being allowed to live there and do this as propaganda? Are you aware that you are being allowed to live there and do this as propaganda from Russia? I'm not sure that sentence makes a whole lot of sense. I think you're suggesting that the only reason we're allowed to live here is because we're doing propaganda. And I would disagree, because there are a ton of foreigners living here that do not have a YouTube channel, and they are allowed to live here as well. So us living here has zero to do with our YouTube channel. In fact, when we came here, we had a much smaller YouTube channel, and we are allowed to live here because Russia is open to foreigners and allowing foreigners to come, especially people with a large family, conservative, Christian,
moral values,
moral, traditional viewpoint. Julia, a question about food, Canada versus Russia. What is your opinion?
With
WRT,
maybe?
with GMO? We do not like GMOs. I don't like genetically modified food. It isn't natural. If you want to eat healthy, you should try to eat what God made, and that would exclude GMOs. Have you already noticed? Now, some people would argue that we would all starve to death if we didn't have GMOs, and that is utter nonsense. People who say that are the same people that say that we're going to run out of room on the planet and there's not enough space for everyone. And those people have never driven through northern Canada, and they have never driven through Russia, where there's just literally vast amounts of space, like trillions of acres of emptiness that people could still be farming, and no one's using. Right? This is in Canada as well. We do not need genetically modified food, and we do not need to start killing off humanity. There's loads of room and loads of food.
Name it.
Have you already noticed that agricultural food from Russian food stores, apart from ones imported from China, used to rot? Whereas, I'm assuming there's another half to that. Whereas food from Canadian superstores can be stored in a fridge for months. While living in Alberta, I've been trying to buy food from Hut-Rides.
Yes.
But still, and there must be another chunk to that. I'm interested in the subject. So where are you? Maybe that's it.
Yeah,
Okay, give her. Take it away.
I have noticed that for sure. I would get excited years ago in Canada when something in my fridge would go moldy as the fruit or the vegetable department, because it would never go moldy. And the cheese in the stores in Canada, it would, like, months you could have a stick of cheese in your fridge and it would never go moldy. Like when we were kids, if you had like your fingerprint accidentally touched the cheese, that fingerprint would go moldy first and then it would start to go moldy. Where here we've bought cheese on multiple occasions, and if we don't eat it fast enough, it goes moldy, and that's pretty exciting. A lot of people be like, oh, that's gross, it's disgusting. I think that's really exciting. That tells me that's real food, and it's more natural food, and it's healthier food. Food is meant to go bad, and it's meant to have blemishes, and that doesn't mean it's a bad piece of food.
No, it's real. I don't know all the ins and outs of it, but we had read years ago that Russia wasn't allowing all that stuff in, and that's another reason that drew us to this country. How do you plan to heat your home? Probably wood. They probably won't supply gas this year. No, it sounds like no gas this year, and we'll probably put an outdoor wood stove in. That way we can heat the house, the shop, workshop, and a greenhouse. Lossinger, after COVID lies, I'll never go to a doctor again. Well, there is times that they are kind of handy.
It is very hard to get over that. We
always tried not to go to a doctor anyway, because what's the point? You can fix most of it yourself. Like a big cut like this, I don't know if you can see that scar on there or not. Anyway, any big cut, crazy glue. Worked great. People might think that's silly, but my mother learned that years ago. She took one of the kids in after falling and hitting their head on one of these heat registers. Took a kid in, and basically that's what the doctor was putting on. She's like, well, what is it? Essentially just crazy glue. And after that, she just started crazy gluing our heads every time something happened. I don't know how often it happens, but
it depends on the severity. We don't recommend this. It depends on the severity of the cut, obviously.
But it works good. What else? We don't do stitches ourselves, although we did buy a suture kit once. We've never used it yet.
Well, during COVID, we thought we were going to need it. Right?
They weren't letting us into hospitals at that point. Yeah, they wouldn't even let us in. So we figured we needed to do more on our own during those times. But yeah, I agree with you. Western, I don't trust Western doctors at all. I find that most of them are salesmen and just push pills. That's a generalization. There's a lot of good doctors out there, but that's what I found. Here, and in Georgia as well, there seemed to be more of a push on natural things, which we were very happy about. They seem to be, well, especially in Georgia, they were like, hey, you could take some natural remedies. and they weren't pushing pharmaceutical pills. And I find the doctors here actually care about you.
Yeah.
Again, these are generalizations. There are doctors in the West that probably care too. But I found a lot of them, it's like you're a number, they don't really care. You have an appointment, you can wait till they are ready for you, and they just want your money and they want you to take some pills and come back next week. And these doctors are like, here's my private cell phone number.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you have any problems, call me.
Even here, we had that with our babies.
Yeah, that's the same here in
Yeah.
Russia. So like, it's totally different healthcare and more focused on fixing the patient, I think. Constantine, hello guys. You are very brave and persistent. It's good. You will succeed. I have been watching your channel since the very first release from Russia. You are on the right track. God bless you. Thank you, Constantine. Appreciate that. VS, some hearts. Ada Wolf, which video did the kids sing in? That was the last video. Ada Wolf, it is utterly silly. Not sure. Wonderful family of happiness to you. WF works in mysterious ways. Adri, are you born in the Netherlands or did your father immigrate to Canada? Which Dutch city did you come from? I was born in Snake, Friesland. One of the two northern provinces. Well, you would know that if you're from the Netherlands, but one of the two northern provinces in the Netherlands. I was born in Friesland. My mother's family is from Groningen. So all of my brothers and sisters were born in the Netherlands, and we moved to Canada when I was 4 years old. Kyle, I have to go. Good luck, Arend and Anneesa. Thank you very much, Kyle. Jan, good evening. Greetings from the Netherlands. Holy Knowles, they sang beautifully. Lossinger, my father came from The Hague. Armadillo, no, there's an R in there. Early morning, 30th this month, I will pass by Nizhny on a train to Moscow. Well, make sure you wave. We probably won't see you, but it would be cool to see your videos on VK Video.
Yeah, we could look into it, but
we might look into it. Yeah, that's the one that's like Facebook, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, we're working on RooTube right now. I don't know if we'll get to VK or not. Ada with, yes, you caught me. That is the one video I have not watched yet. It's all good. Derek Nelson, Suzanne Lindenberg, are you aware Russia's economy has been capitalist-based since the 90s and the U.S. economy has stooped deeper into socialism than the USSR ever did? It's just some valid points that people don't look at, and that's because the change is slow. The reference comes to mind of the frog in boiling water. If you drop a frog in hot water, he'll jump out. But if you slowly turn the temperature up on the water, the frog doesn't notice and will stay in the pot and cook to death. And that is essentially what is happening in the West. It is changing so slowly that people are not looking. And it's probably why they don't teach history in school very much anymore, because otherwise people could connect the dots. I can easily remember my childhood in the 90s, and I can see that Canada is not even a glimmer of what it was in the 90s. It has changed so much. And it's just changed. All of that stuff has. It's sad. Oleg, hello, dear family. Love your videos. Thank you.
I think that's a peekaboo or something.
This person? The smile? Just poking fun.
I think through the blurs.
Oh, maybe. Book learning has caused this current bailout of student loans. Very true as well. A lot of people are just stacked in debt. That's the other thing you got to think through. It's a for-profit industry. They want you to go to school. Why? Because they're making money. Again, schooling is very important in certain scenarios, but not for everything. If it's something you're passionate about, you can find out most of the information online and then prove yourself by going to work and getting the job. SoCal, it was beautiful to hear your family sing together. I can make out some of the words in Russian. I've been on Duolingo almost a year now learning Russian. Great stuff. Good job. When possible, post your RooTube link in your channel description. Good luck. Will do. But again, I want to say that if you're in the West and you're able to watch YouTube, please stay on YouTube. And don't go to RooTube.
Unless we disappear.
Yeah, if we disappear, you can't find us.
On YouTube,
but you can find us on the Telegram channel, of course. There's lots of traffic happening on there now. That's just Countryside Acres?
In Russia? No. I don't know. I can't remember.
Can't remember. There's too much going on. I think it's Countryside Acres in Russia, perhaps. Let me look it up. 1 minute. Пожалуйста. Telegram. Countryside Acres in Russia. So on Telegram, Countryside Acres in Russia. Any updates, if we disappear, you can find us on there. And in the RooTube is also Countryside Acres in Russia. I have no idea if it's working yet.
Boosty is too.
Boosty is also Countryside Acres in Russia. Those are platforms. If you wish to support us, you can do so on Boosty. obviously we appreciate that. RooTube, I don't think it pays really. I mean, it pays a little bit maybe. I don't know. We're just trying that out right now. Obviously, this is our only income source right now. We don't have no other income source, so we are still thinking of an income. Zioma, the windows are safe for children. The mode of opening upwards, it is convenient. We also have the installation of window sills. We also store a lot on them, and the same mode of opening upwards allows you to store everything.
Yeah, until the kid runs across the room and hits the corner of their head off the bottom of
it's
the window.
Again, I mean, there's ultimately different ways, I guess. We once had Wes crack his head on a window that opened outwards because it opened on someone's stairs onto the deck. And so Wes was running up the stairs and he caught the corner of the window on his head. That was a good crazy glue job right there. Speaking of crazy glue.
Yeah.
When they're pointing inwards, they're always in the way for children.
Yeah.
So that's something to think about. Our upstairs windows are fairly big. We regret that now because they stick out so far in the room. We're going to try it and see how well it works.
About 2.5 feet into the room.
So there is no right way or wrong way. Both or all three different ways. Whether you have up and down or side to side or opening outwards or opening inwards, I guess that's 4 different ways. They all have their pluses and their minuses. It's just different ways of doing it. Bjart, I'm self-taught programmer, but still run into education issues when applying for jobs. 15 plus years experience now. Well, that's because people are asking for these credentials, but do you actually need them? In order to do your job, do you feel that you need more credentials? Not always. There's Good Will Hunting, I think the movie is. I remember that one line in there. He's talking about this education, that you paid $40,000 for an education that could have been had with $5 in late fees at the library or something like that. I'm paraphrasing the thing, but it's worth thinking about because all of that knowledge you're being taught in a university or in a college is available online or in a library, right? You're just learning from someone else who knows the textbook, essentially. Leo, thank you very much for Super Chat 1999 Super Chat. Thanks for being you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Yeah. Did you like it?
I couldn't on there. There's nowhere to like it. Maybe when I find it coming down. Hey Wolf, best education comes inside family, chores, etc. Your kids are better educated than most because of their upbringing.
No, we hope so.
Yeah, time will tell. Anna Marie, I am dry canning flour right now. I watched a few YouTube videos. Again, education online can be found. I homeschooled my children in the 90s as education was getting bad then. Schools here are far worse now. Yep, a piece of paper doesn't make a man. Absolutely. Amen. The other thing that I have, again, I mean, this is education. I'm bashing education this week. I don't mean to do that. We do need some educated people. There's nothing wrong with that. And, or no. Of course, we should all be educated people. I'm talking about university and college here. But what I find is that your child goes to school till 18. This is the normal. And then the next year they go off to college or they go off to university. And then they graduate that, let's say maybe 22, 24 years old. And they've never worked. And like your best years probably physically are somewhere between 14 and 30, I would say. Probably your best physically strong years. And I encourage my children to work as hard as they can and pack away as many dollars as they can in that time frame. Because once you get married, once you have kids, like it's a lot harder to save money. It is a lot harder to plan to buy a house or do all these other things. When you're in that age category, you can literally work 80, 90 hours a week and it's not going to bother anybody. You're just going to be tired. It'll keep you out of trouble. And you could save up so much money for a down payment on a house or a farm. But you can't if you're sitting in a desk in a school. Right? If you're in college till you're 24, 25 years old and you've never worked, now you graduate, you have no work experience, no work ethic, probably very little muscles or know-how on how to work, and you got $80,000 in school debt that needs to be paid for. Now you're thinking, you got a girlfriend, you're thinking about starting a family, you got no house, you got no savings, you have $80,000 in debt, you got no work experience. A pretty bad way to start life. Ancient friend, fully agree about education. I was homeschooled when I was a kid. I never finished my bachelor's in accounting yet and worked as an accountant. Yep. That's an interesting one. Would you consider joining the Russian Orthodox Church? I would concerning learning a lot more about the Russian Orthodox Church. I had someone email me, bash me about making this statement because I said that I had never heard of the Orthodox Church, and they're trying to call me a liar and all this other stuff. Listen, in the West, the Orthodox Church is not a big thing. If you know history, church history especially, the West has got the Catholic Church. The schism between East and West happened many years ago, and the West is predominantly Catholic versus the East was predominantly Orthodox. And so Orthodoxy was not a thing, and I didn't really know anything about it up until a couple of years ago when we were researching head coverings, actually. And that is the first time I came across Orthodox. Philip, hi. Question, what led you to go to Russia? You say in one of your videos that it was because of faith. And what church do you go to now? Greetings, Philip from the Netherlands. Faith is every part of our being. God is. We don't belong to any particular church. We are conservative, Bible-believing Christians. We found our way by reading the Bible, not by any particular denomination or brand, and we still are not part of one. A lot of what we feel that God made it pretty clear in the Bible. Most things. There are some things that are more complicated, and of course we take learning from different things. I believe in staying open-minded. I always tell my children to stay open-minded and not to walk around like this and focus on just one thing. No one has access to all truth except God himself, and it's found in his word, but some of it is hard to understand. It's harder to understand. Other stuff is easy. And so there is more than one way of looking at things. As far as why we left, why Russia, the West is falling apart. We could clearly see that that's happening. Morally, financially, politically, it's heading all in the wrong direction. And following Russia for many years, we could see that the government here was making consistent decisions that were heading in the right direction, in a positive direction, and those are things that we wanted. So even GMOs, like we said, like hey, there's a country that's clearly making a stand on good food. That's something we wanted. As far as homosexuality and transgender, they're making clear steps that we agreed with. As far as just a lot of different metrics. Busy paying off their debt. That one struck me as the Western countries are going farther and farther in the hole and borrowing the incredible amounts of money that there's no path to paying off ever. Nobody ever says, oh, we're going to have this paid off in 5 years. They just keep borrowing more. Russia was paying off all of its old Soviet debt, which in my opinion doesn't even owe because Russia is only a part of the Soviet Union and yet paid off all this debt and is accumulating a big stack of gold for reserves for the future. I was like, wow, now that makes sense. If you're running a business, you can't just keep borrowing money. You need to pay it off. And so anyway, on all these different metrics, it was doing it. Freedom of religion. Russia was building 3 churches a day. I think someone can correct me in here. I may have the stats wrong, but it was a staggering amount of churches. And these are all things that are very important to us. We could see that it's heading in a much better direction. And so then it made it a pretty simple choice for us. Do you want to add anything to that, or I get it covered?
I think you're
all right.
You're doing great. I'm just here for support.
Just moral support. Derek, Ivanov. The U.S. hasn't been capitalist since the 90s. Okay, he's answering somebody else here. Dmitry, tell us about the statistics on views. What is the ratio? Which countries? Oh, I don't know off the top of my head. Probably 60-70% of our viewers are in Russia, from Russia. Now, I don't know if those statistics are how accurate those are. I have no idea. I mean, how YouTube gives us the information, I guess, right? But Joe Morales, Privyet from Iowa, USA. Hi, question, what led you... Oh, I think I just read that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's just a repeat from up here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Lost there, no rainbow flags in Russia. That's right. Valerie, anyone can build a house, but only an engineer can build it so that it barely holds on. And barely holds on. I think that's a dig to engineers, maybe. I don't know. Kids coming in with a note. They don't want to disturb you. Just a little note. Can I show the note here? Is that backwards for you guys or not? May I have a banana? Didn't want to say anything out loud. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think you can have a banana.
Yeah, then go to bed.
I'll take a cup of coffee. Yeah, I love one of those.
I ain't got my juice.
Just a light one this time. Thank you, sir. You show Russian cartoons to children, such as Gogo Riki. We don't watch a lot of TV. Well, we don't watch any TV. We don't watch a lot of cartoons either. We may look into some more. Actually, one of the neighbors in the village gave me a thumb drive with a whole whack of cartoons on it too. I haven't had a chance to look at it yet, but
We have a concern about this though. Today or yesterday was a clear example of why we don't do this. We don't know the language. We have no idea what's being said and what's being talked about. We were in getting his haircut the other day, and we were sitting there, and everybody's going about their business, and the only two English-speaking people in the store could hear the radio on English, speaking the most disgusting filth coming out of that speaker, that I stood up, and there was a little kid sitting beside me, and I thought, how can they be listening to this garbage on this radio?
like very explicit
so
sexual
much
content
so
in
much
this rap
vulgar.
song and swearing.
But they had no idea. They had no idea because it was in English that what was being played. And the one
Even in Canada, I would not have
No,
heard these
it was
words
just
on the radio, as bad as
appalling.
Canada is.
So I looked at the lady over at the cashier, and I think she knew that something was up because I was like looking up at the speaker, and then I looked at her almost appalled. And then I got up and I walked over to him, and I was like looking at him saying like, this is disgusting, like we need to do something, right? Like, and the gentleman that was cutting his hair knew a little bit of English, and then he explained in his a little bit that he knew to how to talk to the guy, that what's playing on your radio is just disgusting. And I said, well, the children, I'm like, they pick up language faster than the adults, and I'm like, and what's being played right now, that child's like, that was, they turned it down, thankfully. But I thought, that's why we don't do cartoons yet. We don't know the language. I don't want them to be put in a situation where they're learning things that we have no idea, and we can't correct them. I don't want that for my children.
That's right. Yeah, it's. I am a big fan. You got to be careful here because I don't want to be in a society that censors things, but Western garbage needs to be censored, and I would support the Russian government censoring out Western garbage. And I want to be careful there because that can go overboard. As we see in Canada, we're now censoring conservative values are being censored because they are not inclusive enough or offend somebody. But that filth, we don't need a society running around saying those words or behaving in that way. And I would love to see censorship on that stuff at least. Can't find your Telegram channel. Okay, I don't know how to find one. Is there a search on the Telegram? I think there is, right? You just go to Telegram and hit search. So there's a search, and if I punch in countryside acres in Russia, it shows up right away for me. So countryside and acres is two different words. I can show you on the screen there. Where are you? Is that clear enough? You can see it right there, countryside acres. It shows up right away when I start typing it on Telegram. Adolf, I think you had 10,000 subscribers in Georgia. Now you have 170,000. You must be doing something right. We had a few people in Russia do a shout out for us, actually. Walk and Talk was especially. I'd still love to thank them at some point. But yeah, I think a lot of people are interested in the subject because a lot of people see the same problems that we see. And like us, felt stuck. We were trapped in Canada, not knowing what we could do about it. And knowing that we had to do something at some point. Coffee. If you know someone with a law firm willing to give you an apprenticeship, you don't need to go to university for a law degree.
Interesting.
There you go. I made that. Did that ever go on YouTube? I don't know. But I said that in one of the videos on YouTube. Same thing. If you want to be a mechanic, the best thing, or if your son does it, or daughter, whatever, it doesn't matter. Whatever you could do, the best thing I think you could do is hire them out, I guess. Go to the mechanic and say, listen, I will give you $10,000 a year to take my son and train him and teach him everything that you know. Now, I think anybody would take you up on that because that's crazy. Most times they have to pay you, and legally they probably would have to pay you anyway. But just as figuratively, and this is how it happened years ago, 200, 300, 400, 500 years ago. That's how people got their job. You would pay for an apprenticeship at a place. You didn't go to college or university. And quite frankly, who would you rather learn from? An actual mechanic who's running a shop and very successful and doing a good job, or a desk, right? That's horrible. I'm glad you said something that's so wrong to play garbage like that in a store.
I know what my thought was, is this, if this babushka that was holding her granddaughter in her lap knew what was being played on that radio, she probably would have got up and boxed those guys'
Yeah,
ears.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like, she would not have put up with that, I'm sure
Yeah.
of it.
Nowadays, everything that children see must be supervised by parents. There's a lot of rubbish on exactly, and that's why Russian cartoons might be good. I can think of a lot of English cartoons that are horrible and junk and teach children bad things. And so I don't know what's being said in the Russian ones. Neither does Anneesa. Russia has inherited both foreign debts and foreign USSR property, like embassy buildings, bases. Oh, okay, so it's a trade-off, the debt and the... Okay, that makes sense. What are you talking about? A lot of stuff. Adolf, you don't want them watching the Russian version of Teletubbies. No, if it exists. This is why I suggest old Moss films to you. They are perfect. We used to watch, so in Georgia, we watched a bunch of Moss film. And while we were traveling in the States, too, in the evening, sometimes we watched the old Russian movies. We watch them with subtitles. You don't remember watching the movies?
Just you and I.
Yeah, just you
Not
and me.
the children.
Not the children, no. Jack, do you plan to travel in the country to Caucasian Mountain, for example? I would absolutely love to. But our priority right now has to be our family and stability. Thank you very much, Wesley. A family, stability, and income. Traveling around obviously doesn't put food on the table, and we don't want to be a burden to state or society. We would like to get to the point where we are self-sufficiently earning an income, whether that's by selling merchandise. Even YouTube here is work, obviously, but I'd like to get a farm up and running and start selling actual products to people. But yeah, so we would love to travel. And we're talking about possibly going to Sochi or something just for a week, maybe.
Apparently it didn't let me. I went on Telegram to send the link, but it took me to YouTube.
There's no problem with a country banning behavior and language. Exactly, yeah. Why are you here? In Russia? Or what are we talking about? You are very smart parents that don't believe media. Thank you. How can they travel with construction going on? Exactly, we need to finish that. Sergey, what about you? I don't know. Greetings from Vancouver, Washington. Nice to see you all. Thank you. SoCal, there's a search. Just tap the search. Oh, it's just for the Telegram.
Yeah, I don't know.
The best way to learn a language is through children's TV. Leo, Masha and Bear is a good cartoon. You may check for kinds. The children have watched some Masha and the Bear. Do you have plans to hire employees? Farming and or construction during winter activities. I love the idea of Feimster construction in Russia. So we have one employee. Anneesa's hired an assistant to help navigate things and get stuff set up. So she's very helpful with things, and she translates videos as well. So the Russian subtitles that you're getting now on Boosty, if you're interested in those, they're available on Boosty. Those are being done by Anneesa's assistant, and we are looking at hiring other people. Yes, we also have a part-time accountant now for the farm business, and although I've never met her yet, but it's part of the team as well. And we will be hiring more people. We'll need people that work on the farm. I don't know about construction. I have no desire really to set up a construction company, although I do love constructing. I would like to focus on farming and producing real food. Bacon is coming home to Russia. Also, pancakes and birch syrup will be fun. Will you take visitors? Yes, we are looking at setting up a way for visitors to come. Obviously, it'll be real busy if everybody wants to come visit us, but we would like to have an interactive farm where we can educate people, maybe even school trips. People can come out and they can learn about farming and have a hands-on experience. People have talked to us maybe about running like a camp where people would stay maybe for a few days.
Yeah, we might have cabins.
Cabins. We're kind of family oriented, so we're kind of envisioning maybe having cabins where a family could come out and they could rent a cabin and take the children and have a farm experience for 3 or 4 days. At some point, I'm gonna poll and see if people are supportive of that. I don't know what people here are interested in, or what they would like, what they don't like, or even what something like that could cost. There has to be a cost associated with it, of course, but we don't want to charge too much that people can't afford it. But we also don't want to charge not enough that it becomes a burden for us. It needs to work for both parties. Love seeing the kids. I knew the first from my youth. Also enjoyed the Russian song. Telegram link. Use a fan. Coffee doesn't grow in Northern Hemisphere. Interesting. Lossinger put that up for coffee. You can use dandelion roots. Yeah, it makes for really good coffee, and hickory, I think it is as well. Make pretty good coffee, but no, obviously it's not the same as regular coffee. Tatiana, you can go safely for a Soviet-era cartoon and kids movies. They are all good. All censorship was done beforehand by authorities. Yeah, and there again, as censorship, as scary as censorship can be, there's times where it is 100% necessary. So it ultimately just depends on who's running the place. The censorship that's being done in Canada right now is being done for the wrong reasons and by the wrong people. Actually, fly screens are not hard screwed to the window. Only mounting corners are, so you can remove them easily from inside without removing the screws. Yes. Yes, maybe I said that wrong, I guess. Yeah, there's little brackets that get screwed on the outside, and then the fly screen pops into that. Yes. $4.99 super chat from Svetlana. Thank you very much. So, as far as I understand, super chat, it is a way for you to support us, obviously, but also you can write a note in there. So, if I'm not reading your comment and it's a comment that you think I should read, it is, I believe, one way that people do that as well.
Yeah, it catches our eye if we run out of time.
I always make sure I read the super chats, of course. This one looks like it's just a sticker. Keep it up. Thank you very much. And thank you very much for the support. Obviously, we appreciate that too. Derek Nelson, Alberto Pinelli, there's a lot of Christians in Russians. I would say, yeah, very many. Anneesa, whoops, where did you go? Not sure. Something for you. Chicory, yep, there's a type of ecological tourism. That's what we're talking, yeah. I would love to visit and help teach the children and learn from them. That would be fun. Greetings from Hungary. I am constantly watching the everyday life of your wonderful family in Russia. God bless you. Thank you. There it is, Anneesa Window. Perfect. Love is very beautiful name.
Anneesa's.
Maybe it's just Anneesa's very okay. It looks like a window, doesn't it?
No, it's just another picture.
Okay, Anneesa is a very beautiful name. Yes, it is for a beautiful woman. They match. Yes, I know it just sounds too full. They don't know that this is a village on the outskirts. Not sure. There's some type of ecological tourism, Chicory. I have to go. Everyone have a great evening. Signing off from Texas. Thank you. Muddy Water. How much did they charge for the large farm near Volga and Sura rivers? Oh, that one. 35 million rubles or something. I think they wanted for that one. The one over near Stas.
Oh, I don't know.
Top of my head, I want to say it was that much. Too much for us. Good fella. There's over 160 different nationalities in Russia. Craft ideas. Hi, Arend and Anneesa. Here's the Russian cartoon, which is very nice. Cornell combing barley in PEI, getting itchy. Combining, probably supposed to be. Yeah, probably combining. Good night, kiddo. Love you. Yes, barley is incredibly itchy. I remember shoveling it out of the bin in the feedlot. It's terrible. Dried and ground fig seeds make great coffee substitute. Oh, I haven't heard of that one. Construction company would be very good for you, I think, especially when the kids grow up. A number of samples which you can build, pricing, and that's it. You build quick and fine. Thank you very much. Lost and Dear God is running the show. He let the idiot into the light. I'm not sure if that was directed at, but anyway. Maybe we're the idiots.
Maybe it's a translation.
Maybe. We might be the idiots. In Russia, there are dashes and there are campings, and there are also pioneer children's camps like scouts. You need to cooperate with various neighbors around. Ado with Super Chat is the money sign below the chat window. Do we have that too? No, not on here. On there, maybe? No. Actually, on the same line as chat enter. Good fellow. Dasha and Vanya is a must to receive Russian citizenship. Lozenger, why are there so many women from the Middle East named Jezebel? No idea. Never heard of that one. Add donation alerts. Low fees, best for donations on streams from Russia and many other countries. Add donation alerts. What is that? Low fees.
No, never.
Laurel, Carolyn Paris, because it's a popular Russian name. Carolyn Paris is a popular Russian name. Same reason there are many Carolyns in the West. I must have missed something up there. Is this pixelated due to them being in Russia?
I think so.
Probably. We pray and root for your success. AD, you should check for different applications for the old existing laneway because your laneway already exists. Application should be different than applying for a completely new laneway. Oh, we don't need to apply. We just moved the house. We're way past that now. How did you go about picking Nizhny Novgorod as the best or as the place to settle in Russia over so many other options? I think God kind of picked it for us. We looked into it. I actually had phone meetings over the internet with government officials in Kaluga, in Ivanovo, in Kostroma, in what other ones? I think there's one or two more. And Kaluga was high on my list. I really liked what they had to say, what they had to offer.
Yeah,
Later on, through Timor, he contacted both Nizhny and Kaluga, and they both were willing to offer us immigration quota on arrival. And that's an important first step. So you can come here from Canada on a 90-day tourist visa. That 90 days can be used up over the course of 6 months, but you can only stay for 90 days. In that time frame, you then need to somehow get another way of staying in the country, and that is where the challenge comes in. And so getting guaranteed quota is very hard to get. Each region is only allocated so many positions, immigration slots, if you will. And Moscow would get the highest amount, and then other regions, depending on need, I guess, I don't know. Those quota spots get filled up pretty quick, and it's hard to get. And any immigration path to Russia is actually, it's a pain. It's really hard to do. It's very difficult. It's something that we persisted on because we knew it was the best choice for us. So anyway, Nizhny offered us immigration quota, and so did Kaluga, and we then made a choice, Nizhny being farther away from the hostilities in the west.
It wasn't just that.
Nizhny.
I was just said, let's try something new.
Yeah, that, and you walked a lot of the streets, and you really liked it on Google Maps. You liked the look of it. And so that's where we ended up here. Now, since coming here, we're absolutely sure that it was God's will for us to be here because it's stunning. It's beautiful. I couldn't imagine living somewhere else. There's so much variety in Nizhny. It's just gorgeous. The weather's been amazing. The government's been amazing. The people have been amazing. We just love it here. And I think it's very well run. We've only been to a couple of other regions, but this one looks very clean, very nice. They're doing a lot of maintenance, a lot of road work, a lot of repairs on even fences on the sides of the road. It's just nice, and it's a nice city. Got a lot to offer. We like it. Nizhny Novgorod is convenient because it's very close to Moscow and receives great economic support. A lot of things come to us here from Moscow. Makes sense? Yeah. Look up Scarlet Sails, an old Moss film, very family-oriented, many intentional references to Jesus Christ. It is the basis for many Scarlet Sails celebrations throughout Russia. Okay, never heard of that. Have you found outlets for electrician? There is a Czech firm, an ozone brand name. Hope also has good reviews. Yeah, I've had some people email me some pictures. It's hard for me to explain what we have there. It's just different. There's nothing exists here that is purchasable within Russia that would compare to what I'm talking about. We're going to make something work, and the electrician's just about done wiring right now. I let the cat out of the bag every time, but they don't have what we're looking for. And I came up with a new solution just on Saturday, and I'm going to try that tomorrow. Your kids, something about my kids, are so gifted in musical sense. Are you planning to give them an education? Of course they're getting an education. That's a silly question.
Seems like it's really
Unless you mean a musical one. Our kids get an education every single day. And they learn.
They actually ask every day if they can do school.
Yeah, you don't have to.
I'm like, no.
You don't have to go to a school in order to get an education. There are a few musical schools. Maybe that's what she's meaning. It's just music. In Nizhny Novgorod, it's not expensive. We've talked about like musical instruments lessons. That would be nice. Lost your crow's castle will defend and help, so you get out beforehand. Not sure. Miklenko, 1999 super chat. Thank you, and God bless your family. Thank you very much, Miklenko. Sounds Russian, doesn't it? No, I'm not Russian. It sounds Scottish, Miklenko. Thank you very much. I love that God picked our beautiful city of Nizhny Novgorod for you. We're happy to have you. Thank you very much. Maxime, I watch your videos every day. I have subscribed to your friends on Boosty. Release videos more often. If live streams interfere with the release of videos, maybe you should do them less often. No, they don't. It's just work. Like this week we were busy. A documentary filmmaker was there for 3 days, 4 days. That took up a lot of our time. And yeah, just stuff going on. Anneesa was also canning. How many jars do you think you did? 30, 40, 50, 60?
Probably 50.
50 jars of food. And it takes time as well, getting stuff in the garden, getting it ready for winter. In construction, it's always approximately 50% of the price is materials, 50% is work. I would say now in the West it's higher, but maybe not. Labor is very, very expensive now in the West, and that's one reason why we do everything ourselves. And here as well, 2 reasons I do everything myself. I know that when I'm doing it, it's done the way I want it done. And secondly, the price. It costs too much to pay someone else to do it. Lane away from the highway would be helpful if you want to open store to sell produce. Yes, 100%. But we'll have to think of something else for that. They are very talented and would do well. Do any of your kids play musical instruments? Not right now, no. One YouTuber says they don't get all super chat money. Boosty may be the better option. Yeah, YouTube takes a cut out of everything. So ad revenue, they take a chunk, and any super chats, they take a piece. I don't know how much they take. They take some though. And
Boosty isn't available to the Western audience though, so they'd have to do PayPal.
Yeah, which we have a link for that as well. But for YouTube works well for the. You said RooTube's not. Oh no, Boosty's not. Yes, Boosty and
Boosty
RooTube.
and PayPal. There's another option.
We will stay on YouTube for the West, and we are now exploring RooTube as well as
just saying for payment option.
Okay,
Like
and
money.
Boosty. So if you're in the East here in Russia and you're worried about it, you can find us on Telegram, of course, on Boosty, which is another video hosting platform, and also on RooTube. Hello in Horizon or kids of them rather you deserve yours, you too. Not sure. Please don't forget to mention that quotas are allocated beginning from January each year. In other words, there would be more quotas in the beginning of each year, and it's the best time to apply.
Yeah.
Okay, that could be.
Yeah, that's what we were told to come January.
Okay.
That's why we came in January.
Yes. Forgot about that already. No censorship, just rules for decorum and respectful language. Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. Yeah. I downloaded Boosty, but can only see blurry thumbnails and can't click on them. Okay, so Boosty is subscription based. So
well, not all of it. You can do everything.
Yeah, there's some stuff that you can see for free, and there's other things that you can only see if you buy a subscription. And there's different levels of subscription available on there. And those are just ways that you can support our family to put food on the table, to do what we do,
content.
Grow our farm. Yeah.
But if we disappear,
if you choose to, you don't have to.
If we disappear, then go there.
Yes.
Off of YouTube, then go there.
Before winter near the house, we'll build a boiler with heat tubes of water in the house. I think maybe he was answering someone else's question. Derek, Mike, they just started on the house a month ago. They still have the rest of August, September, and October to finish. Well, a little more than a month, Derek, but yeah, close.
Exactly 2 months ago we dug the hole.
2 months? No, it's gonna be more. It's only 60 days.
June 18th.
For real? No wonder I'm tired. 2 months ago we started digging the hole.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Why would they need a quota if they are working with the government? Well, Russia is a country with laws and regulations, and they like to follow the laws and regulations. And even though many people say, oh, you can just buy your way for this or pay somebody for that, and there's so much corruption, we haven't found any of that, which is a good thing. Everything has to be done in a good order and in decent, just the way it has to be done. Unfortunately, there is a lot of paperwork and a lot of hurdles, and that's just the way it is here. I'm hoping that it will be more streamlined down the road, but there is no easy way through this. So why do we need quota? The government can't just give you whatever you want. There has to be a proper process of how it works. And so you need quota. Once you're in the quota, then you can apply for temporary residency. Once you receive temporary residency, you can apply for permanent residency and onward. So it is important to receive quota. Now, is it possible for them to allocate more quota? I don't know. Like if they only have 30 spots, is it possible for them to give 40? I'm not sure. I would think somebody would be able to bend the rules a little bit, but I don't know. Congratulations to 170,000 subscribers. Thank you.
Thank
Very
you.
much. This week, I think we hit that.
Mm-hmm.
They know very little Russian. Children know more.
Yes, they do.
Children learn very fast.
Very fast.
Material is very expensive here, and labor is outrageous to build. I pay $175 a square foot US dollar, about $18.90 USD per square meter. So that sounds about right. I want to say 225 was the last number I heard in Canada, and I think it's gone up since then. You pulling out your thing? No? So if I go to US dollar on my app, and you're saying 175 would be 239, so that's about right. So 240 Canadian dollars per square foot, which would be about right, which is a lot. And a lot of that's labor. Like labor prices is crazy. A lot of construction companies that I know are now charging $90 an hour for each guy. Even the young guy that shows up who, doesn't even know how to run a tape measure yet. How long did it take you to build the house to the state it is in the latest video? I suppose it's the finished box, as you say.
Less.
So as we were just discussing, so it's been at this state now for...
Well, the videos, though, are a week behind, so it's about 6 weeks.
6 weeks? Yeah, put 6 weeks. Probably a little less. Because it hasn't come, we've got windows put in now and stuff, I guess.
Yeah,
right,
but
right
to
now,
the state of what they'd see it as. So
okay.
that would be about 6 weeks.
Okay, yep. I'm looking into buying some land and building a home and a business. I may buy some property there soon before I even go. Good idea. 2 months ago, Aaron. Sorry, I was just answering Michael finishing before winter.
No problem.
Yep. I'm hoping to be finished, yeah, for sure. 100 acres, or you get the help from the government and you have asylum? I'm not sure. The government's been helpful with us just in working with us and working with our lawyer as far as getting appointments. They tried to help us to find a suitable farm. They're just concerned about us. They check in to say, hey, man, this thing's going. You got everything you need. They want it to work out for us. They've been really helpful in that regard. Have they helped by assisting with anything? Nothing bending the rules, put it that way. Everything has to be done properly. Yes, they got us asylum, and that went pretty quick, smooth. I don't know how long it would have took, I guess, if it wasn't for them. Yes. They were helpful in that aspect, and even at the immigration office, getting we had to get our what do we do the picture taken and photo fingerprints or whatever we needed.
They walked us through
for the immigration process. That all went very smooth again, and I think that was because they were helping us out.
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
but I don't know that we were treated that differently than any one of you if you come. Like I'm not saying that.
We appreciate it either way.
It's just that I don't see the Canadian government being... I think it's different in that sense. They were opening and helpful. We will be moving from Kentucky in about 2 years, estimated. Why wait 2 years? I don't understand that.
From Kentucky to here?
I'm assuming to here. Why not come sooner? What if you don't have 2 years? Things may fall apart drastically before 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Frank Butcher, if I was younger, I'd move there and help you guys out. God bless your family. Thank you, Frank. Ada Wolf again. Someone saying you're working for the government. I wish these people would realize that Russia wants people like you and less people like the West is plagued with. It is good versus evil. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're not working for the government. If that was the case, I'd be getting a paycheck, and I'm certainly not getting a paycheck. We do this for free. YouTube is our paycheck, I guess. Just earning an income. Nikolai, Tatiana, greetings. Evgeny, I sincerely wish you good luck and peace. Your diligence is simply amazing. Thank you. Oops, lost another chunk there. Ancient friend, I was looking to buy a farm in Kentucky near Elizabethtown. California is ridiculously expensive, and if Harris gets in office, I'm not planning on staying. And Gigi, hello from Montreal. Congratulations for the speedy work. Amazing with such great family. Thank you. Countries Acres, but you didn't accept help from a British YouTuber who offered to help you. I think I know the guy you're talking about. I'm not sure if what you're trying to get at here. That he wasn't actually offering any help. He was suggesting on his page that he was offering help, and we had at that time no idea that he was even contacting us because I don't know the man. On his YouTube, in his comments, he's actually said some very negative things about us that were untrue and made statements about things that we said that were untrue. He offered no help. I did contact him once I found all this stuff out, which was several days later, and I talked at length with him on the phone, and nothing that he said was of any help. Our lawyer even talked to him because he made false claims about immigration that our lawyer got involved in, and he was no help. He claimed to his viewers that he was helping us or that he wanted to help us and that we didn't want his help, which is all false. There was nothing true in that at all.
We asked him to remove some comments.
And we also didn't need help. Our YouTube videos are a little bit behind in things that we were receiving help from the government in those aspects. Good fella, you guys did great in such a short period of time. Started building a house, bought a car and tractors. I wish there was a way that would stop doing that. As I'm scrolling through, all of a sudden, it's just bloop, and then I lose
Jumps
where I
into
am.
the
Pavel, hello from Kaliningrad, Russia. You guys are cool. You're doing for my country much more than most of its own citizens. Well, I don't know about that, but thank you very much. Tatiana, tomorrow I'll watch it with subtitles again. So-called ancient friends staying, not planning on staying. We Christians may need asylum at the rate things are going. Yes, things are deteriorating very quickly, and I think it's going to go a lot faster very quickly. I would suspect in the next few months things are going to get much uglier in the West. And I'm not saying that to scare anybody, that's just my thoughts on the matter, and I would recommend that if you have the opportunity to get out, do it now. Dreamer, it's around 14,000 rubles a square meter for a frame house box without the interior and communications, i.e. the construction labor would be 7,000 rubles. If it is 100 square meter at least, you'd have 700,000 rubles for 6 weeks.
I think you're just answering up further. Forget very quickly what you were talking about earlier. They were discussing.
Yeah. Eric Gorder, $10 super chat. These are all super chats, right? That's what they're called? Okay. I think so. Thank you very much, Eric. Appreciate that.
Yeah, and then we have another one there.
And Aton, $2 super chat. You are amazing. Thank you, Aton. In Canada, you just walk in. Well, I don't know. The U.S. border seems like that. Canada, we never really had that many immigration issues. Well, you can walk off the plane. I guess they let everybody in that way.
You were an immigrant.
I was an immigrant. Well, we came legally though, but there was for a while there was boat people coming in BC. I remember seeing on the news they were coming in containers, which is awful because they're stuck in a container all the way across the ocean. Pretty desperate to get in. Raya, may I ask you, how old, age range are you two? How long have you been married? We are 40 years old. Right? 40 yet. And we've been married for 16 years. Adolf, I am in Hopkins County, Kentucky, west of Elizabethtown, which is Hardin. Alberto, can you put the question that you answer in evidence on the screen? Can you put the questions that you answer?
No idea.
Oh, like highlight them as I'm answering them? I don't know if that's possible. Dennis, Country Acres, the next stage of your channel will be unpacking the gifts that will be sent to you, regional products, etc. Maybe. Elena, Anneesa, you are great at editing videos. I enjoy your stories.
Okay.
Dimitri, Arend, when will you be able to go and shoot a video in ancient fabulous city of Gordets in the Nizhny Novgorod region? It is a city with beautiful gingerbread architecture founded in 1152. Did we not go to Gordets?
Oh, we drove through there. Did we not?
Unless it's another one that sounds very similar to that. But I don't know. Right now we're busy with the farm. We're not doing a lot of traveling. Asia, greetings from Latvia. King, hello. User, hi. I watched some of your videos and you guys are awesome. Wish more people like you come to my country. Thank you. Cheryl Van Nee Church, where is your 9th child? You got to be missing each other. Well, thankfully, modern technology allows us to FaceTime and see each other, which definitely helps. Monique, Quebec, whoops. Aaron, you are wise, saying we'll come in before 2 years. Yes, we know it will be as prophesied. Thank you for being realistic. Adolf, Biden introduced Zelensky as President Putin. Well, yes. That feller shouldn't be president. I like cruise ships. Country Diggers, can you explain how much outside help you got on your house? How much is being built off camera we don't see? None. We had 2 gentlemen come for one day. Were they there the whole day? Half a day? A little over half a day. And they're in one of the videos. Closing up the gable end of the house. Other than that, the concrete truck driver stood outside and watched as we poured, so he didn't really help. Who else came to help? Am I forgetting anybody?
The window people put the windows
Oh,
in.
the window guys put the windows in. That's on the video.
And electricians.
Electricians, they haven't seen that yet, though, have they?
Mm.
You'll see that on the video, too. They're doing the wiring. Septic guys installed the septic tank. That's on a video.
The well.
The well drillers drilled the well. That's on a video. I think that's it. Yeah, we built it ourselves. We're not lying to you.
Sorry, I missed that. Somebody said they were lying.
Nah, he says, can you explain how much outside help you got on your house? How much is being built off camera that we don't see? Just almost implying that we're not doing it ourselves. SoCal, Adolf, laugh out loud. Yes,
We're
he
not
did.
actors. We said that before.
Country Daggers, he's talking about using StreamYard, which allows you to highlight and address comments.
Yeah, we tried that earlier and it didn't quite work.
In StreamYard, but so you're saying the Streamline platform. Okay, so we're YouTubing or live streaming off of YouTube right now.
Yeah, but in StreamYard
you can highlight the comments.
It'll go up on the bottom of the screen.
When I did a live with Joe, I noticed he was doing that. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. I answered these already, Eric and Aiden. Okay. Am I guessing correctly that you all come from a plain background?
No.
Nope. Nope, actually, not.
Nope, we don't.
By plain background, anybody that doesn't know, they're talking Mennonite or Amish. Probably Hutterite would fit into that, I guess, as well. But no, we don't actually come from that. Anneesa doesn't come from any particular church background at all. Knew very little about Christianity at all. And I grew up in a Dutch Reformed setting, but not affiliated at all with that now. Left that when I was very young. Aaron, after moving to Russia, you interviewed older children. Are you going to shoot something like that again, or are we going to wait until Maddie grows up?
I've been bugging him.
So busy.
I've been bugging him and bugging him.
Yeah, I was going to do something last Sunday or the Sunday before, and it's just been, I don't know, I'm just tired. Maybe that's why, because we just get everything. I didn't realize it's only been 6 weeks or 8 weeks since we built the house. But we'll get to it again. We're human, and we're literally doing everything that you see ourselves. And I'm not complaining about that. That's how I like to do it. But obviously, we're busy, so it's hard.
Winter is our slow time in general.
Yeah, there's
it
nothing
always
to do.
is, right?
Good evening, beautiful people, from Nicholas. Crescent, greetings from Houston, Texas. Happy to watch your video, working together with your children, building your future house. Thank you. Valentina, greetings to our native Russian Canadians from Tumen. Krasotolichaka, our beloved. Salute. Oops.
Did it again?
Yeah, I know. It's so weird. I just clicked down one and then it's like gone. Now, with a family at 7, we are thinking about moving back to Russia. Oh, I missed one. Hello, I'm amazing family. I'm Alex from Seattle, Washington. I originally from Russia. I've been subscribed to your channel since 15,000 subscribers. I was 10 years old as my parents moved to U.S. Now I'm 41. And I bet you can honestly say that you've seen a lot of change in those 31 years. Brent. So reports of high prices in Russia is offset by low wages. You are paid Western wages by YouTube, which offsets these costs. So those who rely on local income are not so fortunate. Please comment. Well, what do you mean we're paid Western wages on YouTube? Majority of our views on YouTube are actually Russian viewers, and YouTube does not pay anything for Russian viewers. We do not get paid. So I'm not sure what you're talking about. Patty, driveway 2. I'm not sure. What is this on my screen? Go away. Jill Stocks, you read my mind. Eric Gorder, hello with love from Minnesota. Do you speak French? Je m'appelle Arend Sbera. Comment s'appelles-tu? No. Comment s'appelle?
How are you?
Did I say it right? Commence? That's what it sounded.
I don't know.
Something else about
No, he doesn't.
Bonjour. I know a little bit of French.
Not very much.
In Canada, we had to learn French in school, but I never paid any attention, as most young people don't, because we don't care to learn it. And then it's regretful later on because we should have paid more attention. But the one town where we farmed was majority French, even though it was in English Canada, in Ontario. Northern Ontario has a lot of French communities, and so where we were, there was a lot of French people. And so every time I went to the grocery store, this older lady in there always spoke to me in French when I came in, and then I had to rack my brain trying to think, okay, how do I answer her back? So it was nice to bring a little bit of that back. So yes, very little French. Hello from Brazil. Kaiko, there I in there, just no Kaiko. Have you regretted that you came to live in Russia? No, not even once. I would 100% do the exact same thing again, and no regrets. Alberto, how much is far your new home from Nizhny Novgorod? About an hour, roughly. Haydorf, sounds like Kentucky will be losing many citizens. I am also considering a move to Russia. Save money is an issue, so waiting for what I can gather until I am 67, 61 currently. Yeah, finances is hard.
Didn't we just learn that after 65 they don't make you do the language test?
You won't need to do a language test when you get it, which is nice, yeah. If you're on any kind of a pension, that will stretch a lot farther here. Now, how do you get the pension money from there to here? I don't know. For us, we worked very hard over the last 15 years and accumulated some wealth in real estate. Not a lot. We're not rich people by any means, but that helped us get over here, and now we can live off some of our savings, and that's how we're building a new house. But yeah, you do need something. If you're going to come here with nothing, I don't think, unless you're going to enroll as a student maybe or something, I don't know. But
even then, you got to pay for your own.
I don't think it's right for the state to have to pay your way, so I think you need some money, obviously. Vera, can your family come and visit you in Russia and are going back to visit them? Yes, they're welcome to come. It's not as easy as some countries. Like, you need to get a tourist visa before you can come to visit, but absolutely it's possible. And we can leave too. Not right now because we're on asylum. So at this point we can't leave. But
well, we could. We just
we
have
can't.
to ask.
We have to, but yes,
like,
but we are on
just have
asylum.
to ask and give them reason why. Like, they're actually looking after us. Well, not looking after us, but they've taken us in on asylum. So if we're like, oh yeah, we want to go back to our native country.
Yeah, then what was the point of the asylum?
It's the purpose of asylum, right?
We have no intentions of going back right now, although we've discussed it just as banking issues. One of us may need to do something. We'll see. Vladimir, did you guys start thinking about how to sell your farm products next year? Any local farm co-ops? Best of luck to you both. You're inspiring Russian immigrants to come back home. We are planning online to sell products online, probably box items, possibly grocery truck. I don't know. There's a bunch of different options available. Adolf, many people, including nurses and doctors, are leaving California. Lots empty, very expensive houses.
I don't know why you wanted to do this one.
I don't know how long we've been on.
No,
oh yeah, a long time. The tractor guy helped you. We're grateful for it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Andre helped us immensely.
Yes.
Immensely.
Yeah, he was huge help. Still is. He still helped me. He lined up the electrician, all this different stuff. Mm-hmm. And his people have actually picked up all the supplies.
You were talking about physically when you were
physical help. No, I've got a lot of help behind the scenes of people who help me organize things or find things. Even on YouTube here, people send me an email, but hey, you can find this here, find that there. Absolutely. Andre's been by far the biggest help because he keeps lining up more things for us.
Like on time, as fast as we're doing what we're doing, he's got it lined up for the next step.
Yep, he found the septic system, he found the septic installer guy, the well drillers, the electrician. He helped us with the tractor, with the loader, security camera system, lots of stuff. He's been a huge help to us. But not physical labor. We haven't actually put him to work yet, have we? Not yet. Maybe we should. What do you like in Russia and why? Your children like Russia? Sorry for my English. What do I like in Russia? Russia is normal. I don't know. Can you sum it up in one word or not?
I don't know. I thought the other day somebody started talking, and I was looking at that person, and I was like, it's so weird because like everyone looks like Canadians except when they open their mouths and they start to talk. It's like that language shouldn't be coming out of your mouth, right? Like it's like, and it's so weird because like Cora actually was conversing with this woman on the street, and like we were walking across the crosswalk, and this woman started talking away to her, and she's doing really, really well, enough that the woman was kind of stumped when she said she was from Canada. She's like, Canada, you don't look like, this is in Russian. She told me after, and she said, you don't look like Canada or Canadians. And I was like, anyway, so well, what do Canadians look like, right? Like, because like I feel like everybody around us looks the same. Like, just because we're in two different countries, we all look like we all fit. It's just so funny until we open our mouths, and we can't communicate that way.
It just goes to show you that people are people. We're no different.
Exactly.
We all want the same things at the end of the day. But I find this country is normal, traditional. I wouldn't say everybody necessarily goes to church or everybody's Christian. That's not even the point. It's just people have traditional, conservative, moral values. Yeah, that's just the filth that you see back home. We just don't see here.
That's why I was so.
I'm concerned it'll come here.
Yeah, that's why I was so concerned with that radio that radio.
I think a lot of lessons can be learned from the West over the last 30 years, and I would encourage the government, if anybody happens to be listening, to take a look at where Canada was 30 years ago and what on earth happened to get it to where it is today, and then make a really good effort at preventing that from happening here, because this country is still amazing, and there's an opportunity to prevent that. And I think part of it is educating the young people. I see some of the strange trends in the youth here that I saw when I went to school 30 years ago or 20 years ago. And at that time, we just looked at those people like, they're just a little different, whatever. Don't worry about them. But that group grew. And with each passing generation, there's more of them. And now they're now controlling society. And I think more should have been done at that time to educate and curb.
Video games and TV shows,
more censorship,
radio stations, and all that stuff is all. I remember years ago when I was a little girl, it was TLC. Is that the band?
I have no idea.
That there was like 3 singers. Anyway, it was a band that I used to listen to, and I remember listening to this one song over and over and over. But when I was older, I listened to that song, and I'm like, man, no wonder I was like so depressed as a teenager, because it's like, listen to that song, right? Like, if you really listen to it. I think my mom even commented once about me turning it off because it was like so depressing, the song. And I thought, that's exactly what happens. You're in that crucial stage in your life that your brain's still developing, and the emotions are changing, and your hormones are changing and everything, and you're just fed all this stuff that's manipulating your brain and changing your direction in life. And I think like they need to change that. Get rid of it. Like don't allow it.
Yeah, I would like to see some concrete, and I think they have. That's one thing that really attracted me to Russia, is because I can see that in the news that they are making steps to curb this or curb that, and I'd like to see more of that. And people need to pay attention to what happened in the West. And I don't even have answers for all of what happened, but it's slowly declining, and I would love to see a nation go the other way. Obviously, as a Christian, I believe the only way that can really effectively be done is by reaching out to God and returning to God and becoming an ever increasingly Christian nation. But not everybody's going to agree with me on that. But I think we can all agree that we need to keep some traditional moral values and do whatever we can to prevent that nonsense from creeping in. So do we like in Russia? Yeah, I absolutely love Russia. Why? The simplest thing I could say is just because it's normal here. And the people are normal here. But I mean, I could go on for that for a long time. Do the children like Russia? Yes, they all still do. And I still regularly ask them whether they like it here or want to go back. And still no one wants to go back. And I'll tell you when someone does. That doesn't mean we will move back. But at this point, I've never had one of my children yet say that they regret coming here and that they want to go back. And to me, that means a lot. We've been here 6 months. 7 months? At least 6 months. And we were in Georgia for 3 months before that. Nobody wants to go back to Georgia, and nobody wants to leave Russia. To me, that means a lot.
For sure.
Jed, I'm curious, did you get residency? And if not, what happens if Russia decides you can't renew your visa and then you lose ownership of your house? That is a very great question. we would not lose ownership of our house. Again, Russia is a nation that follows laws and has strict rules, I guess, laws in place. So even if we do not get our visas and we have to leave, the property would still be ours. They're not going to take that away. We also have, we don't own it outright. It is a company that has been formed with a Russian citizen. And so the Russian citizen would maintain majority ownership of the property, and we would have our minority stake in the property still. And that wouldn't disappear. It would still be ours. Is it possible then for them to not allow us to stay? Of course it is. It's their country. At this point, we are visitors, I guess, of it, asylum seekers here. I think anybody watching, anybody interviewing, anybody talking to us can clearly see that our desire is right and that we want to be citizens of this country, and we're willing to do whatever that's going to take. If they choose not to allow us, then I mean that's at their discretion.
Yeah, we're living on faith.
We're living on faith. If it's God's will, it's God's will. Now, if we do lose ownership of the house, again, that would be God's will. That would not be great. That would be terrible. But if that's what happens, then that, I mean, I'm not going to dwell on that today. What's the point of dwelling on that?
On the flip side of though, what prevents anybody in the Western countries from losing your house today?
In Canada, you can lose your house as well as a Canadian citizen.
So we had no mortgage on our home, and we, like in Canada, and we made, well, it was just land when we originally bought it. We built this house, and the taxes, when we finally got our tax assessment done, the taxes went through the roof, and slowly but surely they just can increase it if they want. You don't technically really own your land.
They can tax you off your land, no problem.
Yeah.
Igor, did you get my PayPal?
Possibly.
I have no idea.
Maybe. Thank you. If we did.
Reba, Adri, they have received a lot of help.
Yeah, even just comments of.
Yeah, our biggest help we get is kind words.
Yeah.
But not physically on the house, I think is what the if this is regarding the other guy's comment, it was regarding help on the actual house. The actual building of the house we have done on our own.
Mm-hmm.
Adolf, Kentucky is much cheaper than California. Utilities are 4 or 5 times Kentucky's. Wow. That's quite a difference. I like cruise ships. They don't have residency in Russia. Their house falls under business partnership agreement.
Mm-hmm.
Losing ownership of the house. What? I just logged on. What's going on? No, nothing. No. Somebody was asking a question. We are not losing our house. Everybody calm down. 100 acres. Hey, you guys are cool. Keep it up. Don't give up. You are an example of mentally healthy people who love and care about children and the future. Thank you. Elena, hello, our dears. My channel, cruise ships, yeah, but nobody brings in that kind of cash. What are we talking about? Each person can bring in, okay, up there without declaring it, yeah. My channel, Boer and Betten, they are using a VPN and are connecting directly to whatever service YouTube offers. Not sure. Tatiana, I don't understand anything at all. God is electric. Democrats forgot God is electric. 100 acres, you keep it cool. Read that right. Andre, ancient friend, no limit, only need to declare. Sergey, hello, Maria. Your story is really wonderful and very interesting. Maybe one day you could put all your videos together and sell them because you are really special. Man, that would be a long video if we put them all in one. God bless you, beautiful
Part
family.
of me wishes that we had have started video vlogging years ago when some of our other children were younger, because we have so much before we started in Saskatchewan.
I almost prefer pictures though, because you can scroll through
like
10 years of pictures a
my mom
lot faster
said
than 10
years
years
ago,
of video.
like we should write a book.
Yeah.
Right? Because we should have wrote a book, but I'm not a writer, so I've always, thought like, yeah, it started a long time ago before we started vlogging.
Mm-hmm. Property tax is a scam. Pretty much.
Okay, I'm almost ready to...
The truth. Hello, wonderful family. It's funny, but our family say we are too old to start a farm. We are 38, 39. Oh, you're not old at all. Why would you think you're too old to start a farm? 38, 39 is pretty young. No limit I need to declare. I read that already.
Starts in here.
Your story is really wonderful. I I will ask questions in English now, then I will look at the translation notes. New York taxes everything, takes everything, horrid place to live. Okay, I've never really. Are any of you vegan? Oh, I hope not. Nope.
No.
I believe salad was created for cows, and I eat cows. I do eat some salad once in a while, but I do prefer the salad through the cow, and then in the form of a steak on my plate. Right? Vegetables are good for you, though. I do eat them. You all should definitely write a book when you have the time.
That's the problem.
When will we have time? What was the most difficult period of your life when you were just married and had no money and started everything from scratch, or moving to Russia? Perhaps some difficult. Man, that's a really good question. You guys are asking some good ones today. Most difficult part of life, depending on what. I mean, you could categorize that in different ones. Different difficult parts spiritually. Before I knew the Lord, I would say. Before I understood who I was and who God was and how that all fit together. And I lived my life my way rather than God's way. I would say that was the most difficult part of my life. Financially, when we first got married, I would say it was definitely difficult. I remember leaving a full shopping cart full of groceries at the checkout because I could not afford it and my card didn't work and I had no money. And that is hard, emotionally, physically, mentally, all put together. Because as the provider for a young wife and young child, and not having the money to pay for the groceries, that's hard. That's really hard. That's not even that many years ago. We worked hard. I never wanted to ever be in that situation ever again, and I worked really hard to get out of that. And by God's grace and blessings, we have gotten out of that. I've never had that situation again. And we've been able to help a lot of other people now along the way, which has been great. So it really depends what you're talking, I guess. Mentally hard time. Yeah, the last few years in Canada were really, really hard. Trying to figure out what's best. Moving to Russia is not like, you don't just wake up one day, hey, let's pack our bags and go to Russia. We have no ties to this country at all. We just knew it was the best thing for us and for our family. So that was hard too, I guess. Yeah. I mean, you go through lots of hardships.
It was scary.
Yeah.
I think moving here was really, really scary.
Yeah, but there's lots of hard times in life.
I think that overriding the scary was the people, the love and support. Like in one of my videos, me crying there because it was like when you're at we came and we were really, really sick though, physically, emotionally, mentally. Like we were really sick, like with the cold and everything. So
yeah,
that
not
really.
Mentally.
Not mentally, sorry. No,
just physically, we were sick.
Maybe you're a little mentally. Anyway, no, just physically we were sick, and then the emotions of moving and everything was so hard. But then the people just picked us up and just carried us. It was just amazing.
Yep, lifted us up.
Yeah.
So I would say there's been many difficult periods in life, right? And you just work through them. But it's a lot easier now with God and having a proper perspective in life. Knowing that things sometimes just happen and you can lean on God to get you through those times makes difficult times a lot less hard.
I always said too though that you can choose, like in anything in life, right? You could choose to have victory over your struggles or you can choose to be a victim, right? And we choose to have victory over it, right? So anything that's, what's the point of dwelling on the past? You might as well just move on. The future is what's up ahead, right?
Start from scratch, moving around, perhaps what difficult situation. I think we answered that. It's a good question. Good question. Do you know about RooTube? Yes. So if you're just popping on here now, we have just as of today started uploading some videos to RooTube, and I don't know yet if it's working or not. I haven't had a chance to look at it, so we'll learn more about it as it goes. And that is mainly for a Russian audience. If you are in the West and watching us, you can continue watching us on YouTube. That would be great. And if you are here in Russia and you're having a hard time watching us, you could try VPN for YouTube, or you could switch over to RooTube. Also, we're posting videos on Boosty, which is another video sharing platform. And you can also find us on, what's it called? Telegram. My channel, have you ever played the game Monopoly? I don't think that's deck dedicated for us or meant for us? Because I have definitely played.
No, it's at my.
Okay,
show.
I've played Monopoly lots. Yes. Thank you for choosing Russia, Dimitri. Well, thank you for accepting us. For Russia being so accepting, it's been great. I was told that it would be harder farther from Moscow, so Nizhny would still qualify as Western Russia, I guess. I was told the farther east you go, the harder it would be as an immigrant. I don't know if that's true or not. Randy, a man and woman of faith moving across the world with 5 children. Oh, Randall, sorry. 5 children and starting a new life. May God bless you exceedingly abundantly above everything you could ask or think. Much love, Randall and Elena. We have 8 children. If you're talking about
9,
us.
but 8
well, 9, but 8 with us, yes. Romcom. The heavenly roll call there. By the grace of the Lord, we will be. Greetings from the city of Lugov. Amen. Do you have VK Social Network? There are many news communities in the city where you can learn something new. It's also useful for reading Russian. I don't. No, I don't have Facebook either. I don't really have time for any of that. You had Facebook. I don't know if you still do.
Yeah, I post.
Why so much hate on vegan? Well, I have no hate on vegan.
I just hate. Hate isn't a word.
I think meat is meant to be eaten. It's very healthy for you. It's very good for your system. I've actually gone on a complete carnivore diet before, and I know people who have done this as well, and it's really improved their health. I don't have a hate on it. You eat whatever you like to eat, and I'll eat whatever I like to eat. And I don't like the whole activism portion of it, where people get so angry with those of us who do eat meat. You would never see meat eaters protesting with signs and releasing the cabbages or the broccolis. You guys eat whatever you feel like eating, and we'll eat whatever we eat. I eat vegetables as well as meat. There's no hate. We don't believe in hate.
No, hate isn't the answer.
Kenneth, bacon has iron. Angus beef and bison and venison make North America great. Bugs make chicken great again. Okay, so maybe this hate on vegan is directed to someone else. I don't know. But yeah, I believe in eating meat. It's good for you. And I'm not intending on eating bugs ever. Having said that, there are cultures that do eat bugs. And they have for hundreds, if not thousands of years. Giver, if you want to eat crickets, you may. It's the beauty of the free world, eh? Where was I? Conscious we're upset with the size of the oven at M Video. Did you recover from that yet? No idea what we're talking about here. We're upset with the size of the oven.
Maybe upset is the wrong word.
Probably the wrong word. Is this being translated from Russian, maybe?
I'm not sure.
Not sure what you're talking about. We obviously like a big oven because we have a big family and we like to cook a lot of food.
Right.
So we're planning on putting 2 ovens in this house so that we can cook more because there's a lot of us. Plus, in the future, if our children all get married, more children in our home, that would give 16 children. Plus, if they all have 4 children, start doing the math on that. That adds up quick, and you need to cook food. My channel, Rabu said the money is made out of nothing. It's very much like Monopoly money since 1933. Amen. That's another reason why I like Russia, because Russia is working on backing its rubles with gold, whereas the American dollar is based on absolutely nothing. If you really look into it, there is no basis for the dollar anymore. Good fellow, there is property tax in Russia. It's very tolerable. I said earlier that I think property tax is a scam. I think it is in the West. A certain amount is okay. If you don't want to shovel your own road, then somebody has to do it, and that needs to be paid for. And so property taxes, that's what it's for. It used to be.
Yeah.
The maintenance in front of your house, cleaning the snow in front of your house, garbage pickup, water pickup, whatever. But I do know a lot of people that pay an enormous amount of money that get basically no services, and that's where the scam portion falls in. 8 off 10,000. Oh, we're talking about transfer money again. You can transfer money via Bitcoin, but it's highly volatile. I've never used Bitcoin, but crypto, yeah, we did lose a chunk of money and have not gotten that back yet, unfortunately, in a crypto exchange. We're still working on that. Andrew Smith, are you on meds? Okay. Baltic States RooTube is blocked. Oh, really? So RooTube is blocked in the West. Okay, but so Evgeny, I think is how you say your name. Do you still have YouTube then? So YouTube you can still use then. My channel, he's making me hungry. With steaks and meat. Tatiana, what are you going to do in winter as a farmer? Farm. The cows still need fed, still need milked. Goats still need fed. Chickens still need fed. Thankfully, winter's a little slower. In the summertime, we often would work, 15, 18 hours a day. It's pretty tiring. And the wintertime is a little bit more relaxing, so more time for reading. I am hoping to crack hard at Russian language so that I will be speaking Russian by spring, is my hope, and pass my test. Also, there's stuff to build. We are hoping to build a work shed yet before winter, and then we can start building cabins and things like that. Things that we'll need for the following year in there. But there's always cows to feed and things to do. Any new food products that you like in Russia? I haven't really eaten anything new that we haven't already eaten in Canada. Kenneth, I am on. Okay, so sometimes on the airwaves it seems that the same questions are being asked. I'm very glad to get on the air to ask questions that reveal you more. Len Cromo, does Cora ever speak Russian to the other children? Yeah,
she's been teaching.
I mean, we don't show everything. We film our family. We don't film others. And so when our children play outside, they play with Russian children, and obviously they have to communicate. They don't have phones. Our children don't have phones to translate. So they manage conversations outside with other children in the city here.
Yeah, most of the words that like Elias knows and stuff, Cora's taught.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. AdGuard is great for seeing Russian content.
I couldn't get it to work on my computer the other day.
That's the one I'm using on mine, isn't it?
Yeah, I couldn't get it to work on my computer.
We were vegans before the flood. Now you know I know it took 7 pairs of the clean animals. Yeah. I don't know about that myself. I want to look that up right now, but I've got to read these comments. Where did I just lose somebody? Anyway, what kind of veggies you plan on growing? Lots. Everything you can think of. In Russia, they often have gold and silver coins available at the banks. I've bought a few. I've never had excess money enough to buy gold and silver coins, I guess. I believe in investing in cows, land, food, something I can eat. I know a lot of people that do. And there's nothing necessarily wrong with it, but people that hoard money in their basement for a bad day. But if it's a bad day, where are you going to spend the money on? I'd rather have food to eat. And so I always figure, you're better off to stock up on chickens and cows. And then you can ride out the bad times. Hi from Wichita, Kansas. Have loved watching and hearing you all. Thank you. Pamela, Canada has no gold reserves. I think they're the only country without reserves. Well, arguably the United States might not either. They say they have reserves, but nobody has seen them since, I think, the 70s. So there's actually no proof that the gold reserves even exist anymore, which is interesting. Evgeny, in Baltic states, RootTube and VK are blocked. By opening, it is a €700 fine. Oh, really? By opening till 5 years in jail. But we can use Telegram and Boosty. But better please stay on YouTube as long as possible. Well, we plan to stay on YouTube, yeah, for sure. Wow, isn't that something? So there's your freedom of speech. I don't even think there's a fine here in Russia for anything that I know of. I have no idea. But a lot of Western countries claiming how Russia is not free and the West is. Canada's that way now too. A lot of news is censored and you can no longer access it. And now they have these new, I seen that in the UK recently in an article. Somebody was saying about if you say the wrong thing and offend somebody, you can get fined as well. Andrew, what is the name of the nearby village? I'm on RootTube right now in California. Hi from BC, Arend and Anneesa. If God blesses you with a 10th child, do you plan on giving him or her a Russian name, or at least a world name? Mark, Maria, Dennis, Polina. Haven't considered that far. I think we'll continue naming our children the same as we have before. Every one of our children, the middle name is a family name, and the first name is just a name that we like. Or opposite, yeah. Coffee, you should get will you join a Russian-speaking club? Will you get chickens soon? Oh, I hope so. Yeah, I miss chickens. Because we're not going to get any animals on the farm until we're actually living there, just because there's no one there to look after them. Are other Canadian farmers going to follow your example to move to Russia? Yes, I think so. I have been talking to other people who would like to, but it is a process. It's not easy. We're the type of people, when we make up our mind, that's it, we're doing it. And other people take a little bit more time to think things through. And it's not easy. It's hard. It's not a simple immigration process. It's a lot easier. Like, I know families that are looking into South America because it's just a lot easier. You just hop on the plane and go. Depending on which country you go. Even Georgia, you don't even have to visa. You can buy a ticket today and get on the plane tomorrow and get to Georgia and stay for a year. It's very, very simple. Russia is a lot harder, but that is a bad thing, but it's also a good thing because not everybody's coming here. Obviously, they need some vetting process to slow it down. I stay in Scotland. RootTube is working fine. Do you ask the Lord for help, or do you think that God knows everything and no need to ask? No, I believe God wants us to ask. I do believe God knows everything, and I do believe there's no need to ask, except that He says that we should ask. And I believe that God wants a conversation with us. He wants to communicate and talk to us. He wants us to communicate and talk to Him. It's like a parent. A lot of times I know exactly what my kid needs, but it's still like them to come up and ask me about it and talk to me. And I don't think God's any different. So God knew what you needed long before you were ever born, before your parents were ever born. He already knew what you needed, but He still wants to hear from you. So, good question. They don't own anything. They have a partnership. Well, that's not true. We do own our things as part of the partnership.
Yeah, you made a comment before when you were explaining, and it sounded like you referred to it that we didn't own it because the Russian citizen had a higher percentage.
But we still own our percentage.
But it is.
We have a legally binding company and documents, and we own all of it. It's structured in a way that all of it is ours with a partner.
Right.
Any new Westerns in your area? Why is Home in Russia not posting anymore? I don't know. I was going to reach out to him. I might do that this week because I'm not sure. They haven't posted in quite a while, actually.
Well, they did have some family issues.
Yeah, they had an issue with one of their children fell, right?
I think so, yeah.
Fell and hurt some, but I think he's all better. Mm-hmm. That was all dealt with, and then they had the baby right after that, and I guess, I don't know. I haven't talked to him.
He was planning on posting.
Yeah, and he was in our area shortly after that.
Family come as well.
But we were busy, unfortunately. We couldn't meet up. And, yeah, I'll have to text him, ask him. Not sure. As far as new Westerns coming to our area, yes, there are others on their way. And, well, I guess it doesn't matter. I can tell you there's an Australian family that's going to be coming back here again. There is another Canadian family that's talking about moving to this area. There is already 2 other German families here. They were already here, I guess. They're not farmers, though. Did you ask about farmers or just Westerners? Not Westerners, yeah. So 2 other Germans that are here. There is a Polish guy here. There's more Polish guys coming. The one that I talked to went back. He's selling everything in their home, and then are in Poland, and they're coming back. A couple of families. Somebody from Texas coming here. Yeah, there is more and more Westerners coming all the time, and that's why I said the embassies, like the embassy in Canada, I knew already 2 years ago they were saying that they were swamped with calls, and that's only gotten worse. There is a backlog of people that are not necessarily all moving, but at least asking questions and trying to figure it out. And a lot of interest, all for the same reasons. I like cruise ships wrong. Okay. Not sure where that happened. New food in Russia. Have you already tried wild mushrooms? For example, fried or pickled. Somebody brought us mushrooms, actually. Yes. And we got someone local here to fry some up. Skip, will you be able to buy the second plot of land that you mentioned? Pardon?
I didn't eat them.
The previous video that you could not buy. Well, we're still working on that. At this point, we're not. I mean, we have, like I said earlier, we have enough land right now. So, how far away is that volcano? I don't know anything about a volcano. One blew up today. I don't know. You got me curious, so I'll look it up. Not obviously not close by enough for us to have seen it. So. Turkey, chicken, hard to find in Russia. Do you ever think to farm them? Yes, we will have turkeys and chickens on the farm.
Maybe. Turkeys are dumb.
Turkeys are dumb, yeah, but I do like turkeys.
I like
They make lovely noises. Except for that last one we had, that Tom was just a piece of work. If you don't know our Tom, you got to go to old videos of our farm in Manitoulin Island. That Tom was, we kept him around because we kept wanting to get some baby turkeys from him and his wife, but he was a piece of work chasing us around. I struggle hard ATM with my wife due to Western systems. Our 4 kids was in danger for being taken away. Thank God it's almost over, but we plan to move to Russia. That's a good plan. The volcano is very far away. It's on the Kamchatka. Oh yeah, I'd say that's a long ways away. Route 2 is not popular even in Russia. Didn't confirm my Telegram is. Well, we can't be on them all. We are on Telegram, but we're only their links are on Telegram. We're posting links, and those just go to YouTube. So, but now you will also see some stuff from Russia. Hello, Chad. Way north of Vladivostok. Tomorrow we'll see a translation. What about ducks and geese? Yes, I'm looking for ducks and geese.
Okay, I can't do it much longer.
No, there you go. Came in clear finally. My internet caught up. Awesome. Some people don't understand how huge Russia is. 11 time zones should help. Yes, I'm 60. Got B+ in home ec. 1981. We are all looking forward to your next home building video and wish you success. All right, we are going to call our good night. Thank you all for tuning in. It's almost another 2 hours again. God bless you all. Thank you for your support. If you would like to, you can support us on Boosty. As you said, if you don't know what that is, it's a video sharing platform, I guess.
Well, on pictures and
yeah, there's pictures and things.
I
we
really
post.
enjoy working with it. It's really
an
nice.
easy to work with platform.
Yeah, I really like it.
And you can connect with us there. Also on Telegram, Countryside Acres in Russia is for Telegram, for Boosty, and also now for RootTube, right? If it works. I don't know if it works yet, but we're working on that. The RootTube, we're putting the videos on there for those in Russia who are having a hard time with YouTube because it's not working very well. What else? I think that's it. We got a big week of stuff going on. Hopefully we can get some drywall on soon. That's the plan. Am I allowed to tell them that? Because I already did. So hopefully soon. Anyway, thank you all for your support. Paka. God bless you. We'll catch you all later.
До свидания.
До свидания. No, добрый вечер. Да? Good night.
Oh, yeah.